Huh? Why?
Try to remember what the body looked like when we found it under the table. Though there was a lot of blood everywhere, there was no sign the killer actually dragged the body through it.
So that's why you think it's impossible that the killer moved the body. I see. I get your point.
Aww. And here I thought I had a genius idea.
Too bad you're so stupid and boring and unpopular. Your life is meaningless.
I respond better to praise, you know.
But if the killer didn't move the body, why was it under the table?
Byakuya was probably killed under the table.
What? You think he was killed under the table?
So Byakuya snuck under the table for reasons unknown, and that's when he was killed. Then, shortly thereafter, we found his body under the table.
That does make sense, but why did he go under the table?
Obviously, he was hiding so he could surprise us. That dude was always a big jokester.
The hell he was? You seriously couldn't tell what kind of person he was?
Maybe he panicked during the blackout and dove under the table.
It's a blackout, not an earthquake. Just because the power went out doesn't mean you dive under the table.
The reason why is probably connected to what Byakuya was doing during the party, don't you think? I can prove it with this! It probably has something to do with the knife we found under the table.
Knife? Oh, you mean that thing that obviously screams, "I am the murder weapon!"
Byakuya probably noticed the knife was hidden there, so in order to get it, he moved under the table.
He was particularly sensitive to the presence of dangerous items, so I cannot deny that possibility. But how did he notice that there was a knife under the table?
If he knew beforehand, he probably would have done something about it before the blackout, right?
Then, instead of knowing about it beforehand, maybe he saw it right at that moment. Like, for example, he might have seen someone trying to take the knife out from under the table.
No, that's not possible.
What? You seem rather confident about that.
Of course. I have proof to back me up.
This is almost like a real trial!
I'm sure Byakuya ducked under the table during the blackout.
That sounds correct.
If that's the case... During the blackout, Mr. Ham Hands must have seen the killer take the knife.
But it was super pitch black!
It was so dark I couldn't see my food. Byakuya couldn't see in the dark either.
No, that's wrong! No, Byakuya was probably the only one who was able to see in the dark.
Why do you say that?
He was using those night vision goggles we found under the table. He could have seen what was happening.
So...
Well, Mark, it would have been difficult to see it in that darkness.
I see! What if the glowing paint was the mark? With that, you'd be able to get the knife even in the dark. In actuality, the knife we found under the table and the duct tape stuck to the underside of the table were both marked with glowing paint, right?
Does that mean the killer painted them in advance?
But painting them with glowing paint? It's as if they knew the blackout was going to happen.
They had to have already known. That's why they used the glowing paint as a mark. Which means whoever set up the blackout is the killer.
That seals it. The killer is whoever was in the office with the circuit breaker. Which means it was you, Peko Pekoyama!
killed poor Byakuya? Was this island not big enough for 2 glasses wearers?
I am not the killer. Oh, I guess she's not.
How can you believe her so easily?
But with Pekko's height, I don't think she'd be able to reach the circuit breaker in the office.
I don't care about a technicality like that. Pekko's the one who tripped the breaker and caused the blackout. Since Pekko was in the office, she could have caused the blackout at any time.
That's impossible.
Huh? Why is it impossible?
Because I was not in the office. Not even before the blackout.
What happened to your guard duty?
Sorry.
Oh, you weren't in the office? That's clearly a desperate excuse.
Since Pekko was in the office, she could have caused the blackout at any time.
That's impossible.
Huh? Why is it impossible?
Because I was not in the office. Not even before the blackout.
I agree with that.
No, I think Pekko is telling the truth.
Don't tell me you're crushing on Pekko.
And it's nothing like that at all. Nekomaru's account is actually Pekko's alibi.
It's true. Someone was occupying the bathroom for a long time shortly after the party started. And it was finally freed up after Byakuya's body was discovered.
Then the person who was in the bathroom that whole time was actually...
Everyone else besides Pekko was in the dining hall after the party started, right?
I see. So there's no way anybody else could have locked themselves in the bathroom except Pekko.
I guess that would be true.
You locked yourself in the commode? You should have said so earlier.
There's no way she'd actually say that. Gosh, you're so insensitive.
If she locked herself in the bathroom for that long, there's no doubt. It's shit. Oh, there's no way she'd admit it. There's no way she'd admit she was taking a shit.
Hey, weren't you guys taught any basic manners, or were you raised in a locker room?
I'm sorry.
It's fine. How about we stop talking about this and move on to something else?
Don't worry, the smell wasn't that strong. I used the bathroom right after you, so you can trust me.
I said it's fine.
But still, you were in the bathroom for a really long time. Did you get food poisoning or something?
As soon as I stepped in.
What the fuck are you saying? I'm not the killer.
Oh, really? What happened to the tough guy who was saying stuff like,
I can do it. Don't mess with me! I'll fucking kill you!
see? You're making threats again.
Yep, that's right. Things are starting to get exciting.
During the party, the killer was lurking under the floor like a cockroach.
And you could have stared at panties all day. Without going to the storage room in the dark.
Is that true, Fuyuhiko?
Don't act like I'm the fucking killer!
But when the party started, nobody saw you, you know. That means you have no alibi.
The culprit is self-evident.
party, the killer, was lurking under the floor like a cockroach.
And they could have stared at panties all day. Without going to the storage room in the dark.
Is that true, Fuyuhiko?
Don't act like I'm the fucking killer!
But when the party started, nobody saw you, you know? That means you have no alibi.
No, that's wrong! No, Fuyuhiko definitely has an alibi. Isn't that right, Chiaki?
Oh, you're right. I saw Fuyuhiko after the party started. There's no way he could have been waiting under the floor before then.
You should have said that earlier, dumbass.
It's still your fault. Like, why were you even lurking around the old building in the first place?
Shut up! And that room was much closer.
But is it really impossible? It might be better if we examine that possibility a little bit more.
It was super dark, you know? There's no way you'd be able to find your way to the storage room.
We're getting close to the final stage. The blackened or the spotless? Which is superior? I think it's time to settle this.
The hallway was really dark during the blackout. Moving to the storage room like that. It's like making a seafood bowl without fish.
Is it really not possible?
What if they used a string like the cord?
Maybe there was another pair of night vision goggles?
What a pain. I'm gonna go with my gut. What if they used the light?
I agree with that. I know. The killer had a light with him.
Oh, I was right? But where could they have found a light?
There was one nearby for sure. See? It's written on the kitchen's equipment list. It's the portable stove.
Portable stove?
The portable stove isn't powered by electricity, and it's also small enough to carry around. So, the killer used the portable stove to move from the hallway to the storage room during the blackout.
I see. I never considered the portable stove. But there's a hole in your argument. Now then, Hajime, will you battle against me? No, that's wrong! Will you be able to break through my argument? Did you forget what Kazuichi said earlier? He said the hall was too dark to see the office. The light from the stove that you mentioned. It contradicts his testimony. Or are you intentionally doubting his testimony?
I don't doubt what Kazuichi said. What are you trying to say?
The reason Kazuichi couldn't see the office was because the hallway was dark. So if a light was shining in such a dark hallway, wouldn't Kazuichi have seen it?
Allow me to cut through those words! Nagito, did you forget? Or are you just pretending you forgot?
Huh? What are you talking about?
There should have been a wall that blocked light. I'm talking about the fire door in the hallway. If you close it, it would form a perfect wall in the hallway. Plus, the hallway rounds a corner just beyond the fire door. So even if there was a small gap in the door, as long as they passed the corner, the light still wouldn't peek out.
I see. I actually noticed the fire door. Just as expected of the ultimate... Oh, you still don't remember your talent, do you?
Who cares about that right now?
Nagito, what are you plotting? For someone who insists he's not the killer, you are quite nosy.
You sound so scary. If you're that angry, why don't you take a deep breath? You sure like to piss us off. How about I shut your fucking mouth for you?
Hey! It's okay if you guys fight, but I won't allow a burly brawl that might offend people. More importantly,